This California Assessment Accessibility Resource video is sponsored by the California Department of Education. This video covers information about the non-embedded Scribe accessibility resource. A scribe is a person that acts as a designated support or an accommodation for the English Language Proficiency Assessments for California, or ELPAC, and the California Assessment of Student Performance in Progress, or CAASPP. For a list of applicable assessments and the full Scribe guidelines, please refer to the California Assessment Accessibility Resources Matrix by visiting bit.ly/CA_matrix. A scribe writes down or enters what a student dictates or indicates. The guiding principle in scribing is to ensure that the student has access to and is able to respond to test content. The scribe should be a trained and qualified adult who is familiar with the student, such as the teacher or teaching assistant who is typically responsible for scribing during educational instruction and assessments. Scribes must also sign the relevant ELPAC or CAASPP test security affidavit. This can be done through a user role in the Test Operations Management System, or TOMS. If they do not have a role in TOMS, they must sign the security affidavit for non-TOMS users. A scribe should also be familiar with the testing interface, accessibility resources available in the testing interface, and the scribing protocols that are linked in the California Assessment Accessibility Resources Matrix. Scribes should review the scribing protocol with the student at least 2 days before the test session, and practice with the student at least once before the first test session. Nicole, an ELPAC test examiner serving as a scribe, will demonstrate how she would practice with a student that broke their arm and cannot type.
So sorry to hear you broke your arm.
I know, it's very painful, but it's healing.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, we're going to make things a little easier for you on the ELPAC test. I'm going to scribe for you. Do you know what a scribe is?
No, I don't.
A scribe is when you're going to we're going to go over the questions just like you would if you were taking the test, and then you're going to dictate your answers to me, and I'm going to type them for you so you don't have to hurt that arm again. Okay? Mm-hmm. So we're going to go over the scribing protocol. The protocol is kind of the rules that we have to follow. So there's certain rules that you're going to have to follow, and there's rules I have to follow. So one of the main things about Scribe is I have to write exactly what you say. So right or wrong, I have to write exactly what you say. And I can't add any punctuation. I can't add any capital letters. I can't add any formatting, like indent. Like if you want to indent a paragraph, you have to tell me that. So there's a couple ways to do it. One way, we can just write it all out and then you can go back. You're always going to get a chance to go back and edit it and proofread it, and you're going to get the final say if that's your finished product and when you're ready to go on to the next question. Okay? So how I would suggest we do it is that as we go, if you have a capital letter, you just tell me that letter's capital, and at the end of a sentence,
the period.
Yeah, or any punctuation, question mark, exclamation mark. But then we can save the big edits like the indent and the final proofread till the end. So we're going to use the ELPAC practice test as something we can practice because it'll be similar to what we'll be doing in a couple days. So this question here is a good one. We have to write it out. So should we just go through and practice?
Yes.
And we'll pretend like it's the real test, and we'll pretend like it's the real scribe. So I'm going to read you the question. Okay. Do you need some time to collect your thoughts or think about what you're going to write?
Yes.
Okay. Take your time.
I think that the teacher should give out homework.
Okay, so let's stop for a moment. And so, for instance, this I at the beginning of your sentence, if you want that capital, you would need to tell me that you want a capital I. Okay? So, would you like that to be capitalized?
Yes, please.
And on the real test, I can't coach you like this. So this is okay during our practice, but we won't do this during the real test, okay? So
Scribes will not capitalize words or punctuate text without being told to do so by the student. They must orally confirm spelling of homonyms and commonly used homophones such as than and then, to and to. After the scribe has typed in the response, the student will proofread the text in order to add punctuation, capitalization, formatting, as well as make any other edits. Once completed, the student must confirm the fidelity of the response. Let's watch Nicole administer the grades 3 through 5 ELPAC writing test.
Janelle.
Can you spell Janelle for me, please?
Janelle.
Okay.
Can you please capitalize her name?
Mm-hmm.
Period. I helped her. Once I saw that she had broken her leg and she was in much pain, I had went to the noon duty and asked her for help.
Okay, can you repeat that last sentence? Once I saw that she had broken her leg and had much pain,
I had went to the noon duty to ask her for help. Period. After that, the noon duty called the nurse to pick her up. And then they took care of her. Period. That's all.
okay? Now that you've written your paragraph, would you like to go back and proofread it?
Please. Can you please indent right here
Mm-hmm.
and capitalize the O? On this I, can you please capitalize them?
On this side.
This one, this one. Right here. And the O. This one too, please.
Did you want me to do something here?
Comma. After that, comma.
After that, comma?
Yes.
Okay.
And please capitalize the A.
Okay.
And that's all.
Okay. Can you look that over and give the final approval?
Yep.
Okay. Are you ready to submit?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep in mind that scribing must be administered so that the interaction between a scribe and a student does not interrupt other test takers or inadvertently reveal the student's answers. For this reason, scribing will usually take place in a one-on-one test administration or a separate setting. If not in a separate setting, the scribe should be situated near enough to the student, while adhering to local health and safety protocol, to prevent their conversations from reaching other students in the room. For computer-based test administrations, scribes must enter student responses directly into the testing interface, making use of the embedded and non-embedded tools available for a given item and student. Depending on the test item, the student can point to, dictate, or otherwise indicate a response to the scribe, who can then enter the response into the testing interface or in an answer book. Scribes may respond to procedural questions asked by the student regarding test directions and navigation within the test environment. Scribes may not respond to student questions about test items if their responses compromise the validity of the test. The student must not be prompted, reminded, or otherwise assisted in formulating a response during or after the dictation to the scribe. Scribes may not question or correct student choices, alert students to errors or mistakes, or prompt or influence students in any way that might compromise the integrity of student responses. A scribe may not edit or alter student work in any way and must record exactly what the student has dictated. More details are available in the Smarter Balanced Scribing Protocol, including specific guidelines for different content areas and item types. It also includes considerations for students using American Sign Language or Braille. These guidelines can be found listed under the Scribe resource descriptions in the California Assessment Accessibility Resources Matrix by visiting bit.ly/CA_matrix. For more information about student accessibility resources and test settings, visit CAASPP.org and ELPAC.org. Thanks for watching.